let's just say for the sake of argument, Mark Jackson is the coach of the 76ers. I know you and Doc are good friends. How do you handle the Ben Simmons situation, considering what has transpired since the last time they were on the court? They lose a Game 7, a very tough Game 7. Okay, Doc said his words was misconstrued. It's just, my thing is, if you're the head coach and I'm your player, I'm the player, and the reporter asked Mark Jackson, Mark, do you believe you can win a championship with Shannon? The response, absolutely. We didn't have a good series. We didn't have a good game. Give Atlanta credit. They played well. I don't believe Mark Jackson can say, I don't know that, and not think the player is going to take offense to that.
You're 100% correct. And Doc Rivers is an absolute, heck of a basketball coach, future Hall of Fame as a basketball coach. Did more things than I did as a coach, quite honestly, and deserves a lot of credit. And the thing you can do is own the fact that, I made a mistake.
Right.
I said the wrong thing. I absolutely believe that this guy, Ben Simmons, is a home run talent, and he is the guy that can lead us to winning the championship. The question is, I got to do a better job.
Right.
I mean, let's put it on you. And then when Ben is asked, he puts it on himself.
Correct.
And big ups the coach. So in that situation, I think the thing to do is to be quite honest, understand that individually and collectively we came up short.
Right.
And we got to find a way moving forward to answer and respond to the things that we fell short in doing, whether it be coaching, whether it be finishing at the rim, whether it be scoring, whether it be making free throws, whether it be our best players playing the best on both sides of the floor. But be honest, accept the challenge, embrace it, and look forward to what lies ahead.
It's been reported that Ben Simmons has spoken with Doc Rivers. He's spoken with the front office in the 76ers and says, I do not want to be here. I think he took real offense. Last year with the James Harden trade, his name came up, and you know how it is. If a trade ever comes up and it comes out that somebody was in there and he doesn't get traded, you got some bridges to mend, Mark. You got to fix that.
You do, but you also, if you told me I was involved in a trade discussion for Isaiah Thomas, I'm crazy if I'm upset.
Yeah.
Make the deal.
Right.
So if you're Ben Simmons and you say we had discussions about getting James Harden, understand who James Harden is.
Right.
And if you're Ben Simmons, I understand that I was in the middle of those discussions, because in order to get a talent like James Harden, you got to give up something.
Right.
And the something is either Joel Embiid or me if I'm Ben Simmons, and I'd be realistic about it. Now, the other stuff I got a problem with. When you say we can't win with him, that's totally different.
Right.
But if I'm in discussions with trades involving James Harden, I understand that, and I'm wrong if I'm upset about it. But it seems like some discussions have to be had, because Ben Simmons is pretty set in his ways, understanding that he's been insulted as a franchise talent, and you win in this league with talent.
Right.
So you got to find a way to either fix it or make sure when you do unload Ben Simmons in a trade, you have to get top-notch talent back.
Well, how does Mark Jackson make it right? Ben Simmons has already told you he doesn't want to be there. What was said was what was said. What Joel Embiid said, that the momentum seemed to have shifted. We had a layup, and we ended up getting 1 point out of the deal. They're going to have to be some fences mending in that situation. How does Mark Jackson go to Ben Simmons and say, bruh, let's have a conversation?
See, we would have met early on.
Right.
Because I made a mistake if I'm Doc Rivers, if you put me in that situation, by making the initial comment. And then Joel Embiid makes the mistakes by pointing to one significant play and act like that is why we lost.
We didn't mention the 8 turnovers that Joel Embiid had that game.
It was across the board. It was a collective effort.
Right. Yes.
The reason why we're in that position because of us collectively, and the reason why we have fallen short is because of us collectively. So the one thing I want to do is get us in together and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We're going to do this thing. You're not going to do it individually. I'm not going to do it individually. The reason we're here is collectively. Let's embrace that. Let's own the mistakes we've made. And if there's a way that we can fix this thing, because you only look, I'm sitting there as a guy that played in the finals, that been in the playoffs a bunch of times, that been on some great teams that had the ability to win, but I'm not a championship player with championship jewelry.
Right.
I've fallen short. If you are in a situation where you have home run talent and everything going for you, and you have a realistic chance of winning it all, let's make sure we capitalize and take advantage of it. Because we don't want to look back and say the foolishness that we thought was important really wasn't important at the end of the day.
But how do everybody keeps saying, well, we can teach Ben this, and if he developed the three, damn the three ball. I think there's too much emphasis on the three ball. If I can get a good 2-point shot, if I can get a layup, if I can get a 10-footer, why am I going to run behind the free throw line? What is it about Ben? Because you mentioned earlier about the work that Giannis has put in. And this is what I've told people. It's hard for me to see a scenario, Mark, where someone doesn't work at something and doesn't get incrementally better. He hasn't gotten better at shooting the basketball. Why?
I'm not sure if he hasn't gotten better in shooting the basketball. He's
Well, he
the one
doesn't
guy.
shoot, so.
That's the reason. He's the one guy in the history of the game that we've seen that just won't shoot it. I would tell to him, shoot the basketball.
Right.
Because we want to win. The way we are going to win, because you are an elite basketball
Right.
player. You are a franchise talent. Shoot the basketball. You're not coming out of the game. Don't
Right.
you worry about a thing. I want you to be aggressive. I want you to keep your foot on the gas pedal, because an aggressive Ben Simmons makes us unguardable,
Right.
makes us the favorite in not just the Eastern Conference, but in all of basketball. He's too great at everything else. You're talking about a guy that only thing you look at is bad free throw shooter and doesn't shoot the jump shot. Everything else he is elite at. And
Well,
I
it's
think
kind of hard, Mark, if you're a basketball player, you the jump shot and the free throw, it's kind of hard to do that.
it is hard, but you look at his numbers. You
Yeah.
look at the rebounds, the points, the assists, the elite defender.
Yeah.
He is an exceptional basketball player.
Yes.
If I'm a team sitting around the league, one of the other 29 teams in this league, I'm trying to make a deal to go get Ben Simmons.
Right.
Because what you are talking about is a guy that you're nitpicking. I'm looking at an elite basketball talent that you don't have to beg to get into the basketball arena. You don't have to beg to practice. You don't have to beg to play hard. He's a guy that really should be celebrated, and we are being awfully tough on him, deservedly so to a
Right.
certain extent. But there are things that he does at an elite level that we're overlooking.
But you said he won't shoot. There's a difference between won't shoot and being afraid to shoot. If you can't swim, I can teach you how to swim if you're not afraid of the water. But if you're afraid of the water, ain't nothing I can do for you.
You're right about that. I'm crazy enough to believe I've been blessed and fortunate in my life since I've been a kid. I have the ability to push a button no matter who I meet.
Right.
I would find that button and get him. He's not going to be Steph Curry. This
Right.
just
You
in,
don't
breaking
need him to
news.
be.
You don't need him to be Steph Curry. But he's a guy that he's too good in the summertime shooting the basketball.
Yes, I see that.
That he should not go from that to not shooting. I would tell him, chase the greats.
Right.
The talent that he has, he's not playing against the guys in today's game.
Right.
If he becomes a decent shooter and a guy that was willing to a willing shooter, he's chasing that all-time great list.
Mark, you were a shooter. You could shoot the basketball. You're a good free throw shooter. What's some of the advice? Because Ben Simmons had the worst free throw percentage in the playoffs in NBA history, 34%. And you said he could shoot. And his stroke, it looks good. It's not like, one hand is over the other and the ball is like, his stroke looks good. How would you fix that?
Shoot. Trust the work you put in. If you come in and practice, and you come in after practice, and you come in late at night, and you come in the off season, and you put the time in, trust the
Right.
work you put in. And then guess what? Leave it to me that when they start hacking a Simmons or hacking a Ben, whatever you want to call
Right.
it, down the stretch of a ball game, and I believe that you're hurting us and putting
Right.
us in a position to lose a game, leave it to me to take you out. But I think you have to be able to go through the process of losing some games,
Right.
to allowing him to gain confidence, and then instill the confidence in him.
Right.
I trust you. Forget about what the media says. Forget about what the fans say. I trust you, because at the end of the day, in order for us to win it all, I believe that you're going to step up there and make big free throws. He's done it.
Right.
He has absolutely done it, and he has the ability to do it.
Mark, we've seen guys. You and I have no problem speaking in front of the public. I've seen guys that could speak. You and I, we speaking, carrying on, having a great time. But if somebody else gets in front of them and somebody else hears them or a camera, they back up. So now I see him shooting in the gym. And you mentioned all that. But it's almost like, man, if I miss this, they're going to boo. If I miss this, unlike Giannis misses air balls of three. Guess what he does? He gets the ball again, comes right back down and shoots it again.
Looks like he made 10 in a row.
Yeah, he airballs a free throw.
Yeah.
Giannis goes right back to the hoop, foul me again. I'm going right back to the basket. Whereas Ben, like, you foul him, he misses a couple. He's like, nah, you go ahead and take that.
Right. And I've witnessed that firsthand, and sometimes you need a good hype man. Sometimes you need a guy in your ear encouraging you, inspiring you, building you up, and trusting. And that could be the coach at times.
Right.
But sometimes I'd show the video. Okay, who is encouraging this guy? Who's going up to the foul line and speaking a word to inspire him?
You got this one.
Yeah, you know, who's doing that? Instead, everybody's looking around and nervous and staying away from them.
Right.
We need to start building each other up individually and collectively. That's what a team is all about.
Right.
And I don't see that. And it all of a sudden explodes when we see down the stretch. All of a sudden is him and 20,000 people booing. And we know how Philadelphia fans are.
Oh, man, I saw the news report. They're like, here's Ben Simmons leaving, and there was a trash can be floating down and doing the flood.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, that man, see that? How he supposed to come back and like feel comfortable in the city when y'all call the man a trash can, he floating down the river?
Absolutely. You know what? I'd show him, look at these numbers. Now, how many guys are doing what you're doing?
Right.
Look at what you've done on the defensive end. We looked at the closing game. Trae Young struggled.
Right.
It's because of Ben Simmons and the way he disrupted him defensively.
Right.
How about showing that? So there's a way to encourage him and sell him. You a bad man.
Right.
Now go out there and act like it.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we do something before two something.